Let's look for opportunities in the market. So first off, read this disclaimer carefully. Then do your good deed of the day by liking and subscribing. So let's first have a bit of a look here at the major markets. So let's look at the S&P 500. Let's get the big chart. So this is the weekly candlestick. What's happening here? Holiday. Okay, so there's currently a holiday. Okay, nice to know. But yeah, let's prepare then for tomorrow. What kind of holiday is it today? So bank holiday. Monday is a New Year holiday in the US, Juneteenth, so there will be reduced trading this week. Mix this in with the usual summer trading, and it's possible that the whole week has lower than expected volume. This can lead to some whippier market as there is less liquidity to absorb any potential news-related moves that happen. Okay. Sure. Anyway, let's look here at let's go to the futures then. So the futures, they're showing some mild give back, nothing really dramatic here. I think it's the NQ. Yeah, NQ. Let's look at the Nasdaq. So over the last 2 days, we've seen some give back here in the Nasdaq. It's not like dramatic, but we are really overbought. Seriously overbought. Seasonality certainly favors a bit of a correction. So given that, what could be interesting now is to also sort of look for opportunities then that could pop up. So I think that will be the focus in this video. We will go to one of the watch lists and look for stocks that potentially could be quite interesting. So go here to the megatrends. So let's look for some stocks that don't have like high price. So let's keep it under $30. They're more accessible. So here to the right here we do get the business AI stocks first. PLTR, Palantir Technologies, definitively seen a big rally. There's been a lot of bullishness, optimism related to AI. That also could set the conditions for a pullback. Daily is pretty high. It doesn't look buyable. It looks more shortable. So yeah, because I'm more interested now in looking for some bullish opportunities. Well, potential sort of like stocks that pick up on a bargain. I think that too many of these AI stocks are just overheated. So let's go a bit further down here. So now we are in the genetic engineering and also some biotech stocks. They could be interesting because they haven't had the momentum that AI has had. Hence, they might potentially be a bit undervalued. So let's look. Okay, onto innovation, not one of those. Well, that was way above $30 as well. Where? What is where? Where biotechnology. So here is where. Okay. So this one is a bit interesting. Might be looking okay. So before I jump to conclusions here, so the interesting thing here is this green 50-week moving average. You can see here we're sort of like playing around with it as a support, but it's not like a squeaky clean moving average. It's in the sense that we have a lot of history of it working out as a support level. On the dailies, it's a bit messy because we do have the blue 100-day moving average, but similar to the 50-week, it isn't like a reliable support level. Seasonality here, maybe a bit interesting than the fundamentals. Yeah, it's not like super cheap, so I think that we can progress to the next stock. That's a GDR, because the key thing here is to sort of find a stock where we have a lot of things going for it. So not simply technicals, but seasonality, fundamentals, and the whole full works. Because the more people that are likely to turn bullish, the better it is for other bulls as well. So Jenna Drive, it's pulled back but that's on the London Stock Exchange, not as accessible. This is on the Nasdaq. The Index recently seen a move. I'm not a huge fan of buying stocks right after a move, a bullish move that is, or or selling after a bearish move, meaning going short. Emergent BioSolutions, definitely not overpriced. Like if this one works out, it's extremely interesting. Certainly is at the horizontal support level. Are there any like news? Liver, yeah. Looking at the dailies. I mean, this one is pretty interesting. So technically speaking, we are at support. Seasonality. We usually see strength from early June into mid-June. Not really seen it this time, but there tends to be some weakness though into later July. This is June so far, a bit of a loss. July though is it does have a bit of a bullish lean to it. Some of the Julys have actually been very bullish, going back here to 2016. So seasonality here is a bit promising. Yeah, I think this is the candidate. So here is their website, Emergent BioSolutions. We perceive, we prepare, we protect, safeguarding millions against public health threats. From new viruses to the risk of chemical or biological attacks, public health threats can emerge anywhere at any time. Yeah. So this is in a theme that I call pandemics. This is definitively not super hot trends at all. You can see here Emergent BioSolutions, 5% here from the 52-week low, 77% loss from the highs. Definitively seen a major pullback since the C19 highs. That could create a situation where stock very much so becomes undervalued. So this one is interesting, especially if it doesn't see like a pullback. Well, as much of a pullback as we see elsewhere in the market, meaning it's shows sign of some rotation, benefiting from rotation. So let's do a bit of a deeper technical analysis. So we are at horizontal support, no doubt about that. We see pretty low level on RSI and the various PPOs. And MACD is actually seeing some constructive behavior, so that's quite interesting. So a bit of a bullish divergence there. Quite significant bullish divergence here in accumulation distribution. There are people loading up on some EBS shares. That's an interesting sign. So in my notes, I write horizontal support. There's actually a big horn that my camera is sitting on, and there's like a 55-inch screen in front of me. So a lot of things happening here. So if I like move all over the place, it's because of that. I give the bulls a 6 here on the technicals. This is pretty darn interesting. And when it comes to the seasonality, given the strength of July, that makes me a bit bullish. June is messy. Recently, it's been a bit bearish. So in this case, on the seasonality end, I think I will give the bulls. I give them a 3, a bit modest. Next, we look at some fundamentals. Here is where it gets really interesting. So from a price book ratio in blue, very low. Price to sales also very low. Price earnings also very low. Value, basically. Now let's look at the analyst price targets. So we have 4 analysts covering the stock. The average price target is like 111% above us. So yeah, definitively a lot of bullishness here. Strong buy from 2 analysts. 2 others are at a hold. Here you can see some other numbers. Let's just quickly look a bit at the news. Execution of contract option to deliver smallpox into strategic national stockpile. Emergent BioSolutions entered into fourth credit agreement amendment. What is this? Yeah, just some, not a lot of details about why and all of that, but so the fundamentals here are, what will I give it? I think I give it an 8. This is just a lot of value, especially given the type of stock we have in front of us. There actually is a specific ETF for infectious diseases stocks, that give you exposure to that theme. Germ is the ticker. So let's look at the germ when we now do the EBS, yeah, and we want to compare it against XLV, and we want to compare it against germ. So germ is like there. Okay. So long term, we do find minus 44% correlation with S&P 500, minus 78% with XLV, 59% positive with germ. Daily data points, 50% negative with S&P 500. That's interesting though, because if we do get a correction now, more meaningful correction in the SPY and the Nasdaq and the likes, this stock lives sort of like in a different realm. Then we do have 31% positive with XLV, 70% positive with the germ. So what happens with the germ ETF? Unsurprisingly, it's going to have a bit of an effect on Emergent BioSolutions. So let's get the big chart. Germ has seen a very substantial pullback, but that could also mean that there's been an unreasonable selling here of these stocks, because it's not like, okay, sure, we're not at the heights of what we had, back in the 2020s and 2021, but infectious diseases are definitively still a thing. This could be very much an undervalued subsector. Pretty interesting. On the dailies, we are actually seeing some move here in this ETF. Rejection at the blue 100-day moving average. June and July, the most bullish months. That strengthens the case. Certainly does. Okay. We're really becoming a bit interesting here. Okay, so let's compare EBS against the germ. Like that, germ. Yeah. EBS has substantially underperformed the ETF, so it could be undervalued even vis-a-vis this ETF. On the dailies, just very low. We are seeing some kind of potential consolidation here, which is pretty darn interesting. Looking at seasonality, June is bearish. It is. But so far, we do actually have a minus 5% underperformance from EBS. That is in line with what we have seen in previous Junes. So the negativity might be priced in. And July is the best month. Yes, well, it's one of the best months for EBS versus germ. Okay, so when it comes to relative performance, I think I will give the bulls, I give them a 6. Or do I give them more? Maybe I give the bulls a 7. Yes, I give them a 7. Okay. We are at horizontal support. We have a 6 in favor of the bulls. A lot of bullish stuff here with Emergent BioSolutions. It's very undervalued. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed to go up, of course. The key thing now is, especially if we see a pullback in the market, how this stock reacts. So if it shows some interesting behavior, not selling off, maybe seeing a bit of a bid, and the accumulation distribution did suggest that there are actually some people making moves now into these very undervalued stocks. So yeah, all in all, more reasons to be bullish than bearish. So yeah, Definitively, we do have a very interesting time in the market now. I do think that there's reasons to be bullish on Emergent BioSolutions. So yeah, whatever you do, of course, you do certainly want to let the trend be your friend. Or have a stop in place. It's a pretty good idea. Every now and then, I will have some investments that are very long term, where I do accept any kind of pullback because I have a long term thesis. I would, however, say do not have too many of those trades because those can also be the ones that just wreck your account. If there's something really wrong in the market, such that you are going to be vindicated 10 years in the future, which is not that helpful for your account. So there's that. But yeah, go to diamondarm.com for more.